Talking field hockey again on Cards TV. I'm Sean Moth with head coach Justine Sowery. The Cards 2-0 on the weekend. Not only that, a pair of shutouts. So overall, you've got to be really pleased with how things went this weekend.
It was a great weekend, and to have that many goals and not concede any, very pleased, and we're able to go deep on the bench as well. So overall, really happy with the weekend.
Coaches can always find flaws in any sort of win, but let's talk about the positives with Missouri State. You were able to get a penalty stroke from Caitlin Collins to get that first goal, and that kind of set the momentum forward for the 4-0 win.
Well, we haven't necessarily started well in our previous games, and actually challenged them that we wanted a goal or a penalty corner in the first 5 minutes, and they were able to get that done. So it was a really positive start, and certainly there are aspects of that game that were very good. And you know, I have been fairly hard on them and critical because we're preparing for the Big East competition, and certainly our penalty corner execution was not great in that game. So there's always things to work on,
Sure.
But overall it was a great performance.
I get the impression from when we've been together that you're a very much goal-oriented coach and that you challenge the kids with goals, and it seems like they're responding really well.
Absolutely, and the same thing can be said for the second game. And coming out of our half-time, you know, Appalachian State actually performed very, very well and had us under a lot of pressure. So I had to call a timeout within 3 or 4 minutes of that half, and just some firm reminders of what we needed to do, and then immediately they responded again. So they're still young, so I'm having to have more input than what I would like. However, hopefully over the season and in future they can respond themselves and they don't need me.
Great debates ensue in all athletic competition that, you know, if you have offense and score, the other team can't beat you, or if you have defense and the other team doesn't score, they can't beat you. You had both. Let's go to the defense, because Erin Conrad really is, she's kind of a rock in your lineup, and she had a great weekend.
She's doing fantastic work, and our defense overall, in fact, this weekend we set a goal for ourselves from the previous weekend. We're marking from behind and letting them get the ball first. So we challenged our defence this week to front mark and go for the interception and really try to stifle the amount of ball that they would get. And with that being said, some mistakes were made, and Erin
Sure.
was put under a little bit of pressure. So we definitely grew as a defence, and Erin's coming up with some big saves. So really happy where she's at right now. She's playing some confident hockey, and we need her to continue to be a great leader for us.
And you always want goal scoring. You had quite a variety this weekend. I mean, 10 goals, you had a number of different kids contribute.
You have to be happy with that.
Yeah.
And from the previous games, we've only had 1 or 2 that are really making a significant impact, but this weekend really gave a lot of our attacking players confidence, and it's only going to help us moving forward.
Moving forward, the Cards go into Big East play. It begins in Washington, D.C., actually on Saturday against Georgetown, and the Cards will focus sternly on Georgetown, but the next day you play an American team that is a top 10 squad, so a big weekend for the Cards.
It's a huge weekend for us, and we never want to get too far ahead with American, who's a great team, been ranked very high for the last 5 or 6 years, but Big East opponent, and the first one in Georgetown, we're solely focused on that. It's really important for us to get off to a good start. I don't know much about them at all, so we're doing a lot of scouting this week on them, and hopefully we can put a great performance and set the tone for the Big East competition. And then, yes, American will be a nice measuring stick for where we're at as well.
And for those not familiar, American also right there in our nation's capital. A lot of great things about the Big East. One is the opportunity to travel some great places like our nation's capital, and you know, just on the bus trip from the airport to the campus and the hotel, you get to see some pretty cool sights. I know that's fun.
That's always fun, and one of my first experiences in the USA. Had an opportunity to go there, and I'm looking forward to going back, and I certainly know there are a whole bunch of people on our team that have never been there, so it'll be a good weekend.
Outstanding. Safe travel and best of luck to you and the team.
Thank you very much.
For Justine Sowery, I'm Sean Moth. We'll talk to you next week right here on Cards TV.